Hey folks, welcome to Real Guys Fishing, where myself and a couple of my buddies, who aren't here today, but go out, fish, have fun, and basically just have a good time. We're just three basic guys from Western PA, Pittsburgh area. We love to go out, get together, fish, drink some beer sometimes, not while we're fishing, but generally have fun. So this morning, coming to you from the banks of the Ohio River, up here out here in southwest Pennsylvania. We're close to the Ohio border right here. As you see in the back, water's flowing pretty well. We got a fishing just below a dam. Good early morning, mid-June, but a rather cool morning trip out here. Get out before sunlight, get some fishing in, get home, then do some yard work. So this morning, it was a good day. Good day. We'll see a variety of fish caught, not huge numbers or huge fish. We did have one little surprise in here. I was not expecting it. So hopefully that came out well on film. And so everybody enjoy. And now I'll take you down to the fishing. Okay, out here on the Ohio River, looking for some early morning walleye, sauger, smallmouth. It's a cool morning. You can see by the fog coming off the water up by the dam. A lot cooler than what you'd expect for mid-July or mid-June. Left the house, it was 45 degrees. See the rod tip bouncing along there, and working a swim bait or jig head and grub, whatever you want to call it, across the bottom. It's a very rocky area here. Get snagged a lot, but nice thing about rocks is you also get it out a lot, unlike if it were trees or anything else that it would snag on and stay. Rocks, you could generally pop it right back out. Let's see. Not getting overly excited and setting the hook on every little bump. Setup today, this rod is one that I made myself. 6 foot. Got some backbone to it. It'll throw up to half an ounce. Using 10-pound braid with, I think I've got a 6-pound mono leader on here. Nope. Normally I'd throw some fluorocarbon on, but in water like this, the fluorocarbon not as important as if I were, let's say, trout fishing, something of that nature. In clearer water, a little calmer. Weight of the lure, depending on current. Here I use anywhere from 1/4 to 1/2 ounce. This is flowing okay. This is a 3/8 ounce that I've got on here. As you can see by the bounce on the rod, it is holding pretty well to the bottom. So no reason to go up to 1/2 ounce on that. If I switch up and use a slightly smaller grub, I'll probably drop down to 1/4 ounce jig head. Yep, there we go. There's one. That's probably a little sauger based on the way it hit. Not fighting very well. Yep, That is a little sauger. That's nice. That's a nice start for the day. Oh, and there he goes. That was right along the bottom. Felt it bounce off a rock. And then there was another little tug that was just different from the rock. So set the hook, and sure enough, there it was. Oh, okay. Little snag there. Another little snag. Yeah. Sauger, Pennsylvania, 12 inches is the legal right now. Don't think that's going to change anytime soon. Do get a number of legal ones out of here, but a lot of them are about that size. Fishing near this dam, fishing on the downstream side of the dam is always good. Dam's releasing water, puts oxygen into the water. The oxygen attracts the bait fish, and the bait fish attract the bigger fish. Maybe, if I'm lucky, I might also pick up a catfish on this. Did that a couple weeks ago. Was fishing this exact setup actually, and caught a nice little about 3-pound channel cat. In here, the channels and the flatheads are the primary catfish species. They do get the occasional blue, but they are not as prevalent. And you may see the occasional boil out here of a fish rolling up. There also seems to be a pretty good carp population. Have not actually seen one caught. Haven't seen any guys actually fishing for carp down here. But every time I'm down here, I see 3 or 4 of them roll up. And if I'm seeing 3 or 4, there's probably, you know, another 20 that I missed. What I'd really like to see, that first area on the left of the dam, it's just a spillway. There's always going to be water coming over there. But that second one, I'd like to see that gate closed. And the reason for that is that most of these fish like to sit just on the seams of the current. Oh, maybe. Oh, there we go. Got him. As I was saying, they like to sit on the seams of the current, and with that second gate closed, well, the first gate, another sauger it looks like. That's a little better. He's almost legal. Ooh, he is really warm compared to the air right now. So, the way you can tell it's a sauger is the dorsal fin spotted like that. Okay. Now you also sometimes get sauger walleye hybrids, it's called a saugeye, which will have a white on the bottom of the tail. He's got a little bit of white, but I'm thinking this guy's more of a pure sauger. We'll let him go. Saugeys and walleyes are 15 inches in Pennsylvania. So yeah, so the cut off that water on that first spill or first dam, and what you'll get is an eddy forming from water being released on the other side of that barge with the crane on it, that they're doing some work. Or even if that weren't there, but you'd have the water come down and coming back in here, forming a nice little eddy and a nice current seam that would be holding a lot of fish. And the trick seems to be here for the walleye and the sauger, that if you could keep your bait within about a ½ inch of the bottom and not be bouncing into those rocks, it'd probably be about perfect. Although they are aggressive fish. I did get a walleye last week when I was just reeling it in real quick at the end, about 15 feet out, and lure couldn't have been much more than 6 inches under the surface. A nice walleye, just came up and nailed it. And both the walleye and the sauger, they'll take more aggressive lures, stick baits, Rapellas, rattle traps, things of that nature. So you definitely don't have to fish them slow and on the bottom. But that seems to be an effective presentation here. It's pink and gray that I picked up has been working pretty well down here. Chartreuse works well too. Haven't had much luck on other colors. Those two seem to be the ones that are doing the best right now. Tried a black with a little bit of silver on it. Looks like just like a bait fish. Didn't do so well on that one. Whites worked pretty well. Went to the local big box sporting goods store. Won't mention the name, but was disappointed in the selection of plastics that they had. I remember, I was gonna turn into it when I was younger. Oh, there we go. Oh, maybe you caught that on camera. So just as I was about to lift it out of the water, this little smallmouth came up and nailed it. He's a cute little guy. And we will go ahead and let him go. Oh! Okay, I hope everybody saw that. So as I let him go, a walleye, pretty sure it was a walleye, was right in this area and swam back out deep. Interesting. Yeah, so as I was saying, I remember years ago, you could go and you could get pretty much any color of plastic you wanted. Blues, reds, greens, yellows, you name it. And you had curly tail grubs, you had paddle tails, the split tails, all of it. So I was in the store the other day, and everything seemed to be worms and dark colors. Only thing I could find that even represented minnows, they were all dark except for this pink one that I found, and then There was also a perch colored one, so greens and with a little bit of orange, a little bit of yellow. So I picked those up as well, but not seeing all the bright colors in the stores, and again, not the oh, there we go. What do we got here? That hit a little. Oh, look at that head shake. That might be a walleye. The way he's shaking his head on here. Yep, that looks like a little walleye. Okay. This might be that guy that I saw swimming around. Okay, so walleye, no spots, and the white on the tail down there. Definitely indication of a walleye. This guy is probably just under legal, not that I'd keep him anyway. Not a lot of meat on that. Yeah, if I'm going to keep a walleye, it's probably going to have to be 20 inches. Love eating fish, but cleaning fish and trying to feed 3 people on a fish that size, you know, I'd probably need my limit of 6 of that size just to make a meal, because that's those are some tiny fillets coming off there. So yeah, they're gonna have to be a little bit bigger. Now, if there were a little less current and just a few fewer rocks, I'd change up my presentation a little bit to more of a rise and fall, rise and fall. But the problem with this current, if I had one of those eddies going, where it would float down and then come back up in the eddy, I would definitely do that. But it just seems that with this current, that presentation, it just drifts downstream too far, too fast. We'll give it a shot here, see what happens. Yeah, so this way you're not gonna be dragging over the rocks as much, but when it falls, it will fall down into those cracks between the rocks, and you probably end up getting snagged a little more often. You can see as I'm pulling it up, feeling the rocks catch on the rocks as I'm pulling it up. Among other reasons, that's the perfect reason to use a mono leader instead of a braid. Going braid direct to the swivel. Braid is not as abrasion resistant. Feeling the mono here. Feels okay. I might have to retie it at some point, but still feels good. But you start bouncing braid down into those rocks, you're going to nick that braid up and you're going to lose a lot of lures. Oh, there's something. Ah, another nice little walleye. Definitely way under legal. Yeah, he took that deep before he got the hook. I may have to switch that up. So, oh yeah, another little walleye. Cute little guy. Look at those big eyes on him. That's why you don't worry about fishing lures for walleye at night is those eyes, they can see everything. Any little bit of light, they're going to be able to pick up on that lure. Ah, maybe you guys saw that. Now that looked like a smallmouth coming up out of the water. Decent sized one too. There's also white bass in here. I don't know if there's any striper white bass hybrids. I know they call them wipers. But I've caught white bass out of here. Thing with the Ohio, any of the big rivers where they've got the locks and dams in place, is that each little section tends to have its own characteristics on fish, you know, distribution, quantity. So while further downstream in the Ohio, as you get more toward Cincinnati and down that way, there is a really good hybrid population down there, but that's because those are stocked. They don't tend to, I don't know if they can even reproduce or produce hybrids naturally, and even if they could, striper are not native to the Ohio. So they would almost definitely have to be stocking them in there, and I've heard that hybrids cannot reproduce. I don't know if that's true or not, but it's what I've heard. So in order to have a hybrid population, you have to have some help from your local fisheries departments. You know, support those guys. They do good work. Get your fishing license. Obey all the laws. And if those guys come down to check you, don't give them a hard time. They're only doing their job. They're making sure, first off, that the laws are being followed. I have seen way too many guys in my life poaching fish out of season, taking, you know, 5, 10, oh, there we go. That's a better fish. But yeah, seeing guys take 5, 10 times the limit of fish that they're supposed to. Oh, got off. No, he didn't. Oh, he just turned and he went with me for a little bit. That's going to be a nicer fish. I don't know what it is. Oh, that was a largemouth bass. Pretty sure of it. Looked like a largemouth. That's a nice fish. Okay. Here. Okay, so it's 20 after 6 in the morning. So I've been here for about an hour. Not a bad haul so far for an hour. Well, shoot. Well. And that, my friends, is, well, remember how I said I'm probably going to have to do a retie soon on that mono? I didn't do it soon enough. Oh, well, things happen. It's okay. But there you can see that Alberto knot. I could probably trim that up a little bit there. The braid has gotten a little frayed. What we got? 6:52. Yeah, it's going to take me about an hour to get home. Okay. So, we will finish up that story on the old Mitchell 300s at another time. So if you watched to the end of this video, I appreciate it. And we'll be making another one of these for you guys soon, and hopefully my friends Tom and Russ will be able to make it next time. And we'll just have a good old time, catch some fish. So everybody have a great day. Go fishing.